Good afternoon. By now, you may have noticed that in my hands I am holding two balloons. One is empty and the other is full. Now, just as a symbol represents something else, these balloons stand for something meaningful. They symbolize our depth and inner selves. And the air around us in general, whether it's inside the balloon or outside, represents the pain that we feel. Now, if every time we face a difficulty, we choose to keep the pain inside of us, eventually this pain is going to start building up. Now, at this point, you'll have two options to choose from. Either you help yourself by releasing all your pain, by talking about your feelings, talking about your problems, etc. Or you keep the pain inside of you and decide to keep the buildup going on and on and on until both of these options depend on whether you choose to voice yourself or not. Now, let's take a closer look at both of these options and what they lead to, starting with the first one. As soon as you make the decision to express yourself, you start a journey of self-discovery, where you start understanding your true abilities, where you start giving yourself the freedom to create beauty if other forms of self-expression such as art were taken into consideration. It's where you start opening up doors to yourself you never thought about opening. It's when your perspective of life changes. Now, what about the second option, the one most commonly taken? What if I choose to stay silent? Well, the lack of self-expression may have many effects. The most important ones are depression and loneliness, which was declared as the global worldwide problem in the year of 2016. In the United States alone, approximately more than 42.6 million adults suffered from chronic loneliness, which is shocking because loneliness is far more dangerous than people think. Researchers have linked loneliness to health diseases like diabetes and cancer. And besides that, many people face mental illnesses such as depression or anxiety due to the lack of self-expression. Now, since the side effects are so harmful, why would people intentionally choose not to voice themselves? There are three main explanations to this. The first one being fear, a mindset created by humans, making them believe that people will criticize the way they think or react to something due to the response given by a speaker. Like, what if I say this and they get mad? However, author Daniel Geffen believes that fears are not fact, and that to break down your fears, you must take a step forward. The second reason is people's opinions. And this is where we choose to state only what the public would like to hear, not really saying what we think. Sometimes not saying anything at all, just so we wouldn't have a diverse opinion from them, so we don't feel different. The third and most important reason to why people would choose not to express themselves is the belief that no one will understand. You see, when we face difficulties, we all have this assumption that if I try and explain this to people, no one's gonna understand me. And let me tell you that this is true. No one will understand you because no one has been through your experience the way you did or thought about it from your perspective. However, it is your job to try and talk about it to someone. If it's not for them to understand, then it's at least for you to get it off your chest. Last year, I heard about a girl who unfortunately committed self-harm. Feeling bad for the girl, I decided to help her. So I talked to her. I made her feel comfortable, I made her feel like she can trust me until she finally talked. And I remember my shock when she told me her story because it really was something somewhat difficult. So I asked her who she discussed this problem with, and she explained that she didn't discuss it with anyone. She believed that it would be hard to find someone who listens, and it would be hard to explain. Now I did my job. I tried giving her advice and tried helping her with her problem, but most importantly, I listened to her because that's what she was having trouble finding, someone who listens. A crucial idea to keep in mind is that people will not understand unless you try and explain. People don't read minds. You can't expect me to know you're sad if you don't tell me you're sad. We all here are blessed enough to have the ability to talk and communicate and express ourselves. And as Muhammad Qahtani once said, words are power. Words could be your power. You can save a life, inspire a nation, and make this world a beautiful place. So let us use our words to show the world who we really are. It is time for you to finally break your barrier of silence. Thank you.